Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. In this week's episode, I'm making a very special dish, a vegan mock duck. Of course, we're going to pair it with some plum sauce. But before we get to the plum sauce, we're going to do some fancy little things to up the flavor, some little techniques that you can apply in your own kitchen. I'm really excited to get started. And of course, try it in the end. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! I'm peeling some fresh ginger here, and I'm going to cut some slices. And I'll be using about 2 teaspoons worth. I'm also using some dried chilies, 1 Star Anise Pod, and 1 Allspice berry. In this bowl here, I'm pouring in 1 tablespoon of low-sodium soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of vegetarian oyster sauce, and 1 cup of my homemade veggie stock, which has some poultry seasoning in it. We'll be using this plum sauce later on. This is a bean curd sheet I'm going to be using. I'm cutting our bean curd sheet in half and rolling one side up to the midpoint and cutting it in half. Then roll the other half and press it down so it's a flattened tube. I'll be making 2 big pieces of our vegan mock duck. Double up on the sauce if you're making the full amount. We have our pan hot. We're getting some oil in our pan. Dust on some cornstarch on the rolled up bean curd sheets before frying. This will change the texture when you fry them. Now we'll place our 2 rolls into the hot oil. And we'll add our ginger slices, our dried chilies, and whole spices. This will infuse a nice flavor into the oil. If they start to cook too much, just remove them. Now you can see that our bean curd is brown, so we're adding our sauce mixture with the broth. Reduce your heat to low. Allow the sauce to simmer away and reduce. At this point, you can add the whole spices and ginger if you remove them. After 5 minutes or so, you're welcome to flip them over. Allow the sauce to reduce. For the Chinese New Year celebrations, many Chinese people will abstain from eating meat, at least on the 1st and 15th days of the celebrations. This is in honor of Buddha, and also the belief is held that this will help to gain good karma. Many more observant Buddhists, they're not just vegetarian this one time of year during the Chinese New Year, but it's more of a lifestyle for them. And some are even vegan as well. The dragon is a powerful and auspicious symbol to Chinese people. And this Chinese New Year, we're entering into the year of the green wood dragon, which starts on February 10th. Of course, red is always the lucky color during the Chinese New Year, and it is said to ward off evil. The wood dragon is more introverted and reserved, and it is connected to the earth energy, which symbolizes loyalty, stability, and honesty. And also, creativity is tied into the symbolism with the branches of the yang wood tree. Yang is also an active energy, and it's believed that it's a great time for growth and gaining momentum to create positive transformation. And those who believe in Chinese astrology and follow it religiously, they try to have their babies in the dragon years. And this is because it's one of the most auspicious signs, and they believe very strongly that their dragon children will be graced with an abundance of luck and strength. You can see the liquid has evaporated, so we're removing our pan from our element. And we'll pour on the plum sauce. Brush it evenly on the bean curd. Flip it over and add some more. Make sure they're evenly coated. I'm slicing up some green onion for our garnish. I'm placing one of the rolls on our cutting board and creating equal slices, about 2 inches in width. This is both for presentation and for ease of consumption, especially if you're using chopsticks. And I'm sprinkling on our green onion. Some white sesame seeds are an optional addition. And you can add some chili flakes if you like. And I paired this with some bok choy and eggplant. It's that time again, everyone. I get to try our delicious vegan mock duck with our plum sauce. So here it goes. I added extra chilies on top, but you can do what you want. Simply divine. It makes a big difference when you simmer that sauce in that way before adding the plum sauce. Excellent. Un momento, por favor. I had to get my wine, of course. Cheers. So frying up the wrapped bean curd with the whole spices, and then once it's fried up and brown on the outside, adding that broth with the sauce mixture really makes a difference. And once it's bubbling away, you want to turn the heat down, let it reduce so that the liquid evaporates. Everything will be absorbed nicely. You'll get that nice flavor infusion in the bean curd, and then finish it off with the plum sauce. It makes a world of difference cooking it in this manner. And you'll quite enjoy the layered texture, I think. There's also the thinner sheets, the bean curd sheets. These are sheets, but they're more thick. And for these ones, you do not have to rehydrate them. The other ones, you do have to hydrate them in some water, but then you get those thinner layers if you want to try that. But these are quite nice. And the green onions are the perfect finishing touch. I paired this with some bok choy and some miso grilled eggplant as well. If you're in the Toronto area looking for these bean curd sheets, you can go to the Lucky Moose grocery store. The moment you go in, you go straight to the left, you'll see an area where there's tofu and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty clearly marked. The thing is, when you go to Chinatown, not a lot of the workers speak English, so it's good to be prepared and know exactly what you need. And everything comes together so nicely. And I'm enjoying this meal with the Las Mulas Sauvignon Blanc. This recipe was partly inspired by Loblaws. They were partly decorating for the Chinese New Year. They had the lanterns out and some special Chinese New Year themed things, a whole sauce section there. So I thought of the vegan duck that I had at the Cafe 668, which is sadly no longer around. And I really enjoyed all of their dishes, and especially that particular dish. So I wanted to make my own vegan mock duck. And I've been wanting to do this style for a while now. It's been quite some time. So I decided, why not go for it? So there you have it, everyone, another delicious recipe to add to your recipe booklets. And remember, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, hit that little bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video. There's going to be a new video popping up every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern, so you don't want to miss it. This is JJ signing off, keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit! Kang hei pat choy!